Alright, it has been a while since I've posted a video, and there is a very good reason for that. So, over the last week, I have just been hustling very hard to get this car done. From bodywork prep, sent the engine out to the machine shop, so the engine is no longer in the car. It is actually at the machine shop, getting machined right now, so that thing is about ready for assembly. And while I was at it, after waiting almost an entire year, I finally did something. That's right, I finally hooked my hoist up, and it works. Surprisingly, I can lift it all the way up and max the hoist out as long as I pulled one of the light bulbs off and took the roof scoop off the car. It can go all the way up without issue. So I figured since I have a hoist hooked up now and I can lift this car, I can work underneath it a lot easier. So first thing I did was put underbody lights on the car. Yep, wasting money on shit like that. So we have lights on both rockers, all four wheel wells, front bumper and rear bumper, and it looks pretty cool at nighttime, you know, when it's dark. So I'll cut to some cell phone footage of that right now because I don't have any footage on my actual camera. And also, we started getting some more parts in here. The drive shaft. We have the drive shaft for the car. Turned out perfect. DTS did a killer job on that. That thing is rated for, I believe, like 1200 horsepower or 1500 horsepower or something like that. It's just a beast steel drive shaft. So we will never have to worry about breaking a drive shaft in this car, that's for sure. Especially considering the fact that we're running stock half shafts in the back, so we'll probably break the half shafts first out of anything. We did go through and tidy up some wiring up in the engine bay here. Got that all situated, ready to go. Hooked up the electric power steering. I mean, I hooked it up with power and it seems to work. I'm just gonna run it like that for now. When the car's finished running and driving, I'll take it for a test drive, see how it handles. If it does have some weird issues, then I'll have to look into getting that Cortex Racing module for it. Also, rear suspension is finally done. So like I said before, we had our adjustable tow arms, we had our adjustable vertical links here, and then Rev Shift hooked us up with a set of billet adjustable camber arms for it. So rear suspension is done. Now you will notice that I did take the coilover off on this side here, and that's because I'm looking at getting the coilover brackets that I designed put into CAD and getting them billet cut, so I'll be able to actually reproduce them and make more, so it's something I could actually like sell as a kit. Because right now the coilover conversion kits for these cars are roughly like $1,500 for the cheap ones, or closer to, you know, $3,000 for the high-end ones. The cheap ones have no adjustment at all on the shock, which $1,500 for a non-adjustable shock I think is kind of ridiculous. So what I'm planning on doing is if I can reproduce those, make them and sell them, I'll probably sell the brackets at like a reasonable price and then just give like shock lengths or whatever, and people can order whatever shock they want. You know, if you want to buy a non-adjustable shock that's $150 a shock, springs, you know, you can do it that way, or you can, you know, ball out and spend $500 on some crazy AFCO shocks or something like that. So, you know, just something I'm thinking about doing. Obviously, I got to do testing on it before I put anything into production. Now, also, as you can see, Chance and I did make some solid progress on this hood. We got everything kind of blocked down. We went through and radiused the corners on everything. It does need a final sanding to knock a couple high spots down, and then after that It's going to be ready to get painted. Whether we're going to actually make a carbon one right now, not too sure, but we're definitely at least going to paint this and get it on the car for now. Another thing I did do, which I don't feel like taking the hood off to show you guys, is my sway bar mount bracket. I took the actual brackets off and put weld nuts on the bottom of it, so it's super easy to remove the sway bar now, just to make my life easier in the future. Threw a new coat of paint on it, and final assembly bolted that into the car, so used some nice lock nuts and all that, and that's all done. Coming back here to the back of the car, we finished our trunk pins finally. You can kind of see the way I did that. I just welded these tubes onto the mount bracket that holds the taillights in place, and trunk basically just slides right onto that. Also got everything cleaned out back here, pulled all the electrical out except for the underbody light harness. Still needs to get pulled out. And speaking of stripping stuff out of this car, that's right, the entire inside of this car is stripped down. I wheeled everything off on the floor and it is ready to paint. So fingers crossed, this car is going to paint next weekend. We do need to lock the doors down. I don't remember if I showed you guys or not, because it has been a while since I've posted a video, but we did finish both doors. This quarter panel has been blocked and it is flat, even though it looks terrible because of the paint that somebody put on it before. There's a couple other prep things we need to go through and do. We need to get all this silicone, or the window sealant shit off of there. Go through and do the same thing on the windshield. And then obviously just go over the entire car, DA the whole thing, and get it prepped and ready for paint. So we're just gonna single stage this car gray inside and out. So the entire car is just gonna be a single stage gray, kind of like what I have in the engine bay. And then it is going to get vinyl wrapped over that. Now you might be wondering, why would I paint the whole car if I just want to vinyl wrap it? And to be honest, I'm just sick and tired of looking at red. I don't want to see any red on this car anymore, so we're spraying everything. And plus gray is just a nice, basic, simple, easy color to wrap over, and you know, it'll look good. I hope it looks good. It should look good. It better look good. So while I was at it, I also went ahead and made some changes on the coolant hoses. So I added some extra brackets and braces to those, that way they don't want to go anywhere. One of them's kind of close to the steering column, so I made an extra bracket to hold that aside and tighten it up a little bit more. And I mean, I can't even remember all the shit I've been doing. I've just been grinding away at this car, trying to get it done, because I want to drive it like first event I can this year, which, you know, with the way things are going, might be in 2 months, hopefully. We're getting close, that's for sure. So you guys remember the list we made probably like 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, and how big that list was. That's everything left. Injectors, wastegates, exhaust, front coilovers, some body work. That's about it. I never thought it'd be this close to being done, honestly. I think once it comes back from paint, it's gonna really kick in. But and once I get the engine back and get that fully built and assembled, 2 years in the making, and it's all coming down to the next couple weeks here, so I'm stoked. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pre-apologize that I'm not gonna be doing content the way I have been. You know, over the last year, 2 years, you know, I've been doing three videos a week on average. You know, there was a point where I was doing 7 videos a week, but you know, on average now I've been doing 3 to 4 videos a week. I'm trying to get this thing done, and I don't have somebody to hold a camera for me. I don't have somebody to edit for me. I'm doing it all myself, and I just really want to crack down, focus on this build. So from here on out until it's done, it's going to be build update videos. I'm not going to be doing walkthroughs and processes and stuff like that. If there's stuff you guys want to see that I've done, let me know in one of the build update videos or something like that. I can walk through it and kind of show you guys and explain what I did on that, but I'm not going to be recording all my content. Oh, another thing that I did that I totally forgot to mention is I did the shifter and the shifter relocation bracket and all that stuff, so that works too. Forgot to mention that. I mean, I just been doing so much stuff this last week that I can't even keep track anymore. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one, you guys. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, follow the rest of the build along, and then we're going to go shred this thing up. And you know, if you want to help support the channel and the build and try and get tires to go make some content, stuff like that, head on over to ShaneWhaleyRacing.com and pick up some merch. We have, you know, shirts, hoodies, and you know, links as always down in the description. Also follow me on social media if you want. I post a lot more on there of the stuff I'm doing day to day, so if you want to follow me on social media and kind of keep up with the updates, Instagram and Facebook, best place to do that. So that's going to be it for this one, so until the next one, I'll catch you guys later.